everyone, this is Midnight Dreamer again, here with an all-new video reaction on the new Pinkie tale, Egghead and the Beast. Honestly, I've been really excited about this ever since I've heard it was announced. As a fan of the original and also someone who liked the new one that just came out a few months ago, I'm really excited by this. I'm also really like the sneak peek that was presented a few weeks ago. I just really like some of the characters that they showed so far, like Cheese Sandwich as Lumiere and Vinyl as being more or less the Cosworth of the story, even though she's not really a Cosworth, but more probably just Cheese Sandwich's kind of contrast in a way. I'm also really excited that Scooter Tricks got in on this production. For some of you who may not know, Scooter Tricks is a production who is a bit of a underrated bridge within the My Little Pony fandom. So I'm really excited. I want to really see how this turns out. So no more lie, darling. Let's do this stuff. Okay, here we go. Pinkie Tales.
Pinkie Tales.
Yep.
Egghead and the Beast.
So romantic. I wonder how this will start out. Will we get
Tonight's story is a classic.
will we get prologue, or are we just gonna start with Twilight?
A terrifying beast, strange castle objects,
Yep.
and a mayor who's slightly socially awkward. Once upon a time.
Long before the reign of the two Alicorn sisters, there was a small village in the kingdom of Prance. A
Prance.
beautiful, intelligent, and slightly odd Alicorn named Sparkle lived in the village on her
Of course,
own.
we always have
She
to
was
mash
fascinated by
their
the
names
spells and history
together in
she
a
found
weird
books, and
way.
chose to spend her days reading rather than socializing. Unfortunately, this caused Sparkle to become introverted and awkward around other ponies.
Not her
Though
fault.
many ponies attempted to include her in daily village life, Sparkle's attention was always focused on her studies. Eventually, every pony left Sparkle alone to do as she pleased. Every pony, with the exception of
Guess so.
Dashton.
Knew it.
Dashton was the village's
I
hero
totally
and
thought-
most sought
Totally
after
guessed
stallion.
that Dash
He
would be
dominated
Gaston.
the sky, breaking weather and speed records as if
Does that
they
mean
were
school is
foes
gonna be
there. He
LeFou?
was handsome, strong, charismatic, and available. Every mare in the village
And a
dreamed
bit
of
of
becoming
butt.
his mare friend. But Dashton's sights were set on the one who didn't clamour for his attention, Sparkle. One afternoon,
Yep, called it.
Dashton
I called
and
it.
his faithful assistant Scootaloo had just finished. Hang on, did I read that right? Is it really just Scootaloo?
Yeah, 'cause in the other story, the short, stubby little human that followed the honksicle around was called LeFou, so it's totally perfect. Scoot-a-loo and LeFou.
Huh?
I love
Very
names.
funny, Pinkie.
But don't you usually change the name? Isn't that a little distracting?
Well, why don't you try to come up with something better? Do you know how hard it was to make a pun out of Maud's name in the last one? How am I supposed to make something funny out of LeFou? It's in like France-Canese or something.
Okay, first of all, it's called French. Let's not start off the story by offending part of the world's population. How about we call her... Scooteroo. Roo is French and can be used as a surname.
That's one of the silly nicknames Dashy and I use all the time. You know, like I'm Punkapoo, and then there's Yellow Quiet, White Perfect, Breakfast Cereal.
Really?
What?
I mean, yeah, let's do that.
Applejack. Well, that flashed by Queen.
Whoa, that was amazing, Dashton.
Dashton's faithful assistant Scooteroo called as Dashton landed with a resounding boom. He had instructed Scooteroo to time his cloud clearing, hoping once again to break his own speed record.
How long?
My, what a
Dash
guy. Dash.
He debris from his wings mindlessly.
Oh, you were amazing, as always. No pony can clear the sky like you can, Dashton.
Scoot looks so cute.
Dashton said again impatiently. Scooteroo gulped nervously.
Scootaloo's just
before
so
replying,
cute in this.
10.3 seconds?
What? Let me see that timer.
Dashton growled,
Do I see-
swiping the little device from Scooteroo's hoof.
It's still
I-
record-breaking.
Yeah, maybe last year when I actually broke it. I promised my fans I'd break 10 seconds this year, and I will not disappoint them. Are you sure this thing
I
is
weep.
working?
I cry.
Tim!
Oh, Fluttershy is the.
Listen to
Aww.
3 yellow pegasi with long,
Seriously?
soft pink manes
Aw.
called from a distance, crowding around Dashton and fawning over him.
I was
Peter
hoping for
quickly
Mrs.
moved away
Potts.
to avoid being trampled.
Ladies, there's plenty of Dashton to go around. I know. I'm the best. I can't help it. I guess I was just born to be awesome.
As his over-exuberant fans swarmed him, Dashton caught a glimpse of Sparkle from the corner of his eye.
Sorry, Phillies. Gotta dash.
Dashton said with a wink, flying away and leaving 3 sad mares behind.
Just like 2012, 2017, Blue Fawn said, "It's never gonna happen, ladies."
But, she's kinda shy, don't you think?
What's she got that we
What the
haven't
hell?
got?
Personality.
Oh,
Muttered under his breath.
Scoots!
Nothing.
You go
Hey
Scootaloo!
there. Couldn't help but notice you.
Oh
standing
my
along
gosh,
the
she's
street.
reading the
Dashton
she's
said,
reading the Pinkie
cruising
Tales
up to
version of the
Sparkle
Little
as they
Mermaid.
walked down the street.
Oh,
Hello,
MT.
Dashton.
You know, it's not very mare-like.
Oh my
to walk around
gosh,
with
there's
things all the time.
You mean
Magpiepony and
You do know
Lost-
the ponies are calling
I
you
think it's Lost Narrator, I want to say, and
what?
in the
Who calls me an egghead?
you do.
I do.
Yep.
It's just not right for a mare who looks like you to be so booky and eggheady, you know?
Break traditions, man.
And eggheady are words, and what do you mean a mare who looks like me?
It's a compliment. It means you're too pretty to be burying your face in one of these all the time. You should come around town with me. I could show you some of my record-breaking trophies.
Dashton, there's no such thing as being too pretty or too ugly to be intelligent. Also,
Yeah.
I happen to think the most appealing ponies are the ones who don't flaunt their accomplishments. Instead, they should let their work speak for itself.
You do have some pretty great work.
Oh, look at Twilight
Do
face.
you know of my work?
Duh. You're like the most powerful unicorn in
Technically, I'm an alicorn.
Whatever.
Oh,
You
please
moving
stop.
practically on your own. That's pretty impressive. And it's that kind of mare that I want on my right wing.
You have dozens of other mares who would give anything to be your mare friend. Why me?
Yeah,
Because it's a
Fluttershy.
challenge, and I
Times
never
3.
back down from a challenge. Not to mention, underneath all that eggheadiness, you're a really pretty mare, you know.
I am not an egghead.
So I'm gonna do you a big favor and take you out tonight. If you're seen around the village with me, that egghead thing will be a thing of the past. No, you don't have to say anything. I already know your answer. I'll be by at 7 o'clock to pick you up.
Wow.
Wait, you're not gonna love what I have planned.
Dashton said, zooming away.
My what a guy.
Negative!
The thought of an evening spent with Dashton and all his braggery was too traumatizing for Sparkle to fathom. She decided it would be a better idea to take her books and study somewhere far away where the Pegasus could not find her. There was only one place she could think of where the village ponies dared not venture: the enchanted forest.
Because this
Sparkle
won't be a
ignored
problem at all.
rumors that the forest was indeed cursed and dangerous, choosing to believe that a night with Dashton would be far worse. She wandered the narrow forest paths, looking for a clearing to study in peace. But hours passed, and Sparkle conceded to the fact that she was indeed lost. To make matters worse, she finally understood why the forest was deemed enchanted.
Okay, this was
as
part of the
magic
sneak
her
peek
horn
beforehand,
failed to
so
produce any spells.
not really gonna say that
Powerless,
much about
hungry,
this.
and exhausted, Sparkle gave up the search for the path home and sought out a safe place to spend the cold night instead. When hope was dismal, Sparkle spied an old iron gate.
I do
and a
really like
path
the
that led to
artwork
a mighty
here.
castle
Really
hidden in the
nice.
heart of the forest. She was relieved, pushed open the gate, and ran up the front steps of the castle.
Hello? Is any pony there? Please, I only seek shelter for the night. Thank you. I don't mean to be a bother.
Sparkle started, but paused when she realized she was all alone. The only indication that some pony had unlocked the door
And
for her
here we have
was a
cheese
lovely
sandwich,
strange-looking
everyone.
candle with a pony face carved into the candlestick. Sparkle tilted her head and reached her hoof out towards it when the candle began to move.
Well, hi there.
I gotta say, it's kind of funny. Well, not funny, but
The
kind of
candlestick
interesting
said,
how half his
talking to the
face is
pony
the
face.
half his mouth is the
Sparkle
candle, and the
screamed
other
in
half is
surprise
like the
and
middle
leapt
part of the
up into the air
candlestick.
before crashing back down to the ground on her flank.
And here's Rhino.
Flame Witch, not 2 seconds into the castle and you've already given our guest PTSD.
Good job,
Sparkle
man.
sharply turned her head around to see an old gramophone playing a record. The voice she heard had come from the gramophone horn, but as the record spun, no other sound could be heard. Sparkle's ears perked up when she heard the candlestick hopping over to the gramophone on its own.
So I wonder
smiling as
if
if
this
nothing
means
were
that
amiss.
Pinkie will be the feather duster
Are you?
from the original tale.
The better question is, what?
Maybe, but we'll
We
wait
haven't
and see.
been a who in a long time.
Where does
Oh, I love this part.
Cursed along with its master until our impending doom traps us as inanimate objects forever.
But you're not interested
Yeah.
in all that. Follow me.
All the creepy
You're
stuff and
rusty
then
free.
back to the happiness.
This is gonna end up a disaster, and I absolutely want to watch it happen.
Flame Witch rolled his eyes and lifted the needle on the record with one of his candles. He picked up the record itself and hopped along one of the castle hallways.
You coming?
He called to Sparkle. She nodded and walked cautiously after him. Eventually,
Okay, now
the
we've
candle
got
paused
back
in front of a small
to the,
study where a comfortable chair waited in
Now
front
we're
of the
off from
fireplace.
the
Hang on,
sneak
let me
peek,
get
so
that for you.
we actually
The candle
gonna
said
see some new stuff now.
enthusiastically, using the flame
Still love
on
this
one of his
artwork.
candles to ignite the fireplace. He then placed the record onto a second gramophone in the corner of the room, adjusting
All the
volume.
gramophones.
Make way! I simply must see this for myself!
The third voice called.
Yeah.
The sound of
Oh,
China clinking down the
sweet
hallway.
Bella's
Soon
chip.
after, a decorated little
Aw.
teapot entered the room, and it too
That's
had a
adorable.
strange pony-like face that beamed excitedly at the sight of
Oh my gosh, I
Sparkle.
love how Rarity's horn
There
is
is a pony in the castle! Oh, how terrible!
where the tea comes out.
Are you here to break our curse?
A small
Oh.
voice called from behind the teapot. It was a little cup that appeared to be another piece of the tea set. The pair of them hopped onto a side table to get
Oh,
a better look at the pony
Twilight.
guest.
Twilight
Sparkle
Space.
watched them in fascinated silence.
Are you cursed too?
Sweetener Belle! It's impolite to ask ponies if they're cursed.
She's an alicorn. See? She even looks like a Mary Sue.
Oh, you went there, man.
She has quite the imagination since
You
being
went
turned
there.
into talking china. My name is Rarity Pot. Don't be frightened, darling. We won't hurt you.
Afraid? I'm not afraid. I'm
Yeah, you jumped at-
fascinated. How did you all get cursed like this? Who are you? What's this castle doing?
You
in the
jumped
middle
at
of
the.
forest and
You jumped
why
at.
isn't it in any of our
sandwich.
history books?
What in tarnation is going
Oh my god!
Another new object said from the doorway. It was a clock, decorated with apple
Okay, so
accents
Vinyl
and a
isn't the
spinning apple
plot
pendulum.
work.
What's she doing?
Codsworth.
Flame Witch
Virgin.
let her in.
You just let him? You're supposed to guard the door.
It was exciting, and I'm bored. What you expect?
Well, she's the first pony we've
Good
seen
job,
in decades,
Vinyl.
And she looked like she needed help. Besides, now we have a reason to celebrate. She's come to break the curse.
Sparkle opened her mouth to respond,
Wow.
but hesitated.
Actual.
when she
Oh
heard
my
noises
god, here comes the
coming
beast!
down the hallway.
Actual animation, but
The
here comes
objects
the
in the room
beast!
turned their attention to the doorway, smiling, with the exception of Sparkle and Apple Clock. The
Huh.
mysterious pony approached, staying hidden in shadow, with the exception of his bright green glowing eyes.
Oh my gosh, this is
Who are you?
Scootrix!
What are you doing in my castle?
Ooh, very scary.
Sparkle. I got
Wait, was
lost
that
in
Pinkie?
the woods and just needed a warm place to stay the night.
I see.
The pony said simply, taking a step inside the room and into the light. The sight Sparkle beheld was
Pinkie?
too fascinating and terrifying for her to comprehend. The pony before her was not an inanimate object like the other castle members she had seen. He was a tall, black-coated alicorn with piercing red stripes on his coat and mane.
Oh man.
Atop his head were 3 horns, 2 on either side of his head, along with a broken unicorn horn. He had cleft hooves and what appeared to be an orange flame pattern on his legs under his red stripes. His eyes glowed with a
Hell,
trail of
man.
purple smoke around them, and he had large, multicolored bat wings.
Celestia!
All right, Pinkie, what is going on?
What do you
That pink.
mean? What is going on? Look at him. He's...
An alicorn representing
A
the beast.
battle sea.
Oh, I mean, yes, but look at him! He's an abomination! Why does he have all these multicolored bat wings and a weird celestial-looking necklace thing with a heart-shaped gemstone? What crazy, twisted mind could create such a thing?
Well, these are Pinkie Tails, aren't they?
Hmm.
So, didn't you come up with his design?
Me? I think I had something to do with this whatever he is. It wasn't me. I thought he was going to be a manticore or something. But this... Oh, sweet Celestia, hide me!
Are you afraid of him, Pinkie?
Of course I'm afraid of him! Why else do you think I gave my part to Cheese Sandwich? I was supposed to be the candle, but
That makes sense.
can't do it! He's gonna shoot rainbow sparkle flame power at me and I'll be sent into another dimension! I just know it! Do you know how much power bronies give terrible OCs? They're undefeatable!
Huh.
Pinkie will stay far, far away from him!
They're pinks.
I can't hear you! I'm far, far away! Please turn the page.
Fine.
Oh, come on! He's on this page, too! There's no escape, I tell you! No escape!
Huh.
Don't be
Poor
afraid,
pink.
darling. This is our beloved prince, and the victim of a cruel and unjustifiable curse.
No, not a prince. I am a beast. I don't deserve your praise, Madam Teapot.
Were you cursed to be this way?
No, my appearance did not change when I was cursed, but I fear that my curse may be the worst of them all. I am merely not permitted to leave my own castle and spread my vast and unending magical power with the pony world. You see, before I was cursed,
Drama
I had
queen.
studied every book on magic that had ever been written, and I had discovered a way to cure cancer and hunger and create everlasting world peace.
Oh, brother.
But now, I am stuck here, and my magic is powerless against this curse. I am doomed to never be able to help other ponies and be their prince.
Drama
Oh.
queen.
That's
Or king.
terrible.
But still.
Every book on magic, you say?
Yes,
Huh.
I have them all in my castle library, and yet I fear that none of them can help us. I have scored them for answers, but I fear my staff and I are doomed forever.
Maybe I can break your curse. For some strange reason, I feel compelled to save you.
You? What
Really?
makes you so sure you can save us?
She's a Mary Sue.
Thank you,
The second
Three
look
Bell.
at Sparkle and noticed that she was indeed an alicorn too.
Does your alicorn magic work in my castle?
Well, no. But if your magic still works, maybe I can find the right spell and you can cast it.
You are welcome to try, but I must ask you to stay away from the west wing of the castle.
Ooh, West Wing, stop. I love the West Wing to stop.
Mysterious. My candlestick and clock will show you to the library, little filly.
You can call me Sparkle.
And you can call me a beast, for that is what I am. Now, I will dramatically exit and leave you to your impossible task without helping you, even though clearly I have the magic to do so.
The
So they
prince
do
said,
establish
igniting his broken horn
that,
with
that,
magic,
that he is
and
dramatic.
disappearing from the room.
Here we are, darling.
Wasn't the original
Rarity Pop
story
said,
the
helping
beast was
Flame
pretty
Witch open
dramatic
the double
too?
door that led to the vast castle library.
I'm just asking this.
It's beautiful.
I do like that they at least make, you know, like they're aware that he's dramatic.
No, thousands of books here. There's so much knowledge.
Jackpot!
to take in. How can you possibly stand it?
Well, to be honest, half of us can't hold a book or turn pages now that we're objects, and the other half don't like to read. I'd say I'm a little bit of both myself.
So, how are you going to break the curse?
I need to know what the curse is before I can know how to undo it.
It's written on an enchanted scroll.
Vinyl said, from a new gramophone conveniently placed in the library.
How many of these things do we have?
And the better question is, why aren't they enchanted too? There's another plot hole.
Wait, you know that we're, you know, in a story?
Why, of course I do. I'm a male ripoff of Pinkie Pie, so I basically
Oh!
can. Don't know why you're fall for breaking, though. Maybe it's because you're like her 23rd cousin 3 times removed. It's a recessive trait.
How can I get that scroll?
That's awesome that they keep
Unfortunately,
pointing out the stuff.
It's in the West Wing, and you're not allowed to go in there.
But then, how am I going to be able to break it if I don't even know what it says?
Plot holes. All the plot
There's a
holes.
book in here somewhere that has a copy of what's written on there. The prince is a deep and sensitive pony, so naturally he keeps it
And
out.
dramatic.
Maybe we can just borrow it when the prince isn't looking.
And risk upsetting the prince? Sweetener Belle, you know better than that. The poor dear is going through enough as it is.
All right, let's look for the diary. Would you all be so kind as to help me search?
Sure thing, Sparkle.
Flame Witch said with a smile, hopping into the library enthusiastically.
Now hang on there, Flame Witch. You're a candle. And candles go
Yeah.
mix well with paper.
You're overthinking things,
Yeah.
Apple Clock. I can. Oh, what?
Oh, there goes fire.
Rare Pot, can you,
I'm coming.
Rare Teapot said, hopping after Flame Witch to dose the fire with her tea. Sparkle giggled and began combing the bookshelves for the diary. Hours passed with no success for Sparkle and the castle objects. They weren't a very productive search party, as Flame Witch couldn't touch any books, Rare Teapot was afraid of spilling her tea on them, and Vinyl couldn't move at all.
It's better
Good
than
job,
this
team.
thing, Hasbro.
And Sparkle
Oh!
organizing the books by category and then
Burn!
Eventually,
And you're not even
Sweetener
a
decided
and
it
you're
was
not
time to take matters
even
into her own
a
hands,
candelabra.
she decided, and slipped away from the library when no pony was looking. She hopped along the castle corridors until she reached the west wing. Being as quiet as she was able, Sweetener Belle was able to enter the prince's room unnoticed. Once she was inside, she spied the prince laying dramatically on his bed. The diary that the others were searching for wasn't in the library at all, but instead hovering next to him, while his magic jotted down his thoughts. For some reason, the prince felt compelled to speak his entry aloud, which provided the perfect cover for Sweetener Belle to hop towards the enchanted scroll undetected.
Dear Diary, a beautiful mare entered the castle today, wanting to help me. I don't understand why she would ever want to help a strong, handsome, and overpowered stallion such as myself. I'm far too broken inside
Drama
to be
Queen,
saved.
King.
These feelings remind me of when I was an infant, and my parents, King Sombra and Nightmare Moon, abandoned me. And the years I spent on the streets, being ridiculed by my peers because I was so different. Or that one time my horn was broken when I saved those sick orphans from the burning hospital. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Sweetener Belle used the handle on her teacup to grasp onto the scroll and hopped back toward the door quietly. She hurried toward the library
Man,
while the
he
prince
is
continued explaining his
dramatic.
tragic backstory to himself.
Sparkle, I got it.
Where did you find that?
It's so long over exaggerated
Somewhere?
story. Come on, let's read it.
Sparkle smiled, choosing not to question the little teacup. She unrolled the scroll and squinted her eyes, finding it difficult to read the faded ink.
What costs nothing but is worth everything, weighs nothing but can last a lifetime, that one pony can't own but two ponies can share? It's something you don't understand but desperately need. One's destiny is fulfilled when a correct answer is accomplished. Wait, this
Love.
is a riddle, not a curse.
You
Love.
it. Solving the riddle.
It's
will
love
break the
calling
curse,
it.
silly. But the prince has already checked all his riddles and answer books and tried all kinds of magic spells. Nothing. See, if the ink disappears completely, then we're all cursed forever, and it gets harder to read.
Okay, so that's the
every
magic
year.
rose of the story.
So, do you know the answer?
Well, I just need more time, you know?
Love.
To narrow down my options. I can do this, no problem.
The prince bellowed,
boy.
his voice echoing throughout the castle. Sweetener Belle gulped, and Sparkle stood motionless. Moments later, the beast appeared in a flash of light and a resounding boom.
You took it! I asked you to stay away from the West Wing, and you went there anyway? You interrupted my private thoughts!
Sparkle shot a glance to Sweetenabelle, who smiled apologetically, before hiding behind Sparkle's hoof.
Well, how am I supposed to break your curse unless I know what the scroll said?
You could have asked.
You were the one who didn't think ahead. Do you even want me to break this curse? You seem mighty content to be depressed and mope around your castle feeling sorry for yourself.
I didn't tell you you had
Burn.
to. If you don't want to be here, then why don't you just go?
Maybe I will.
Fine.
Fine.
Sparkle's face was red from anger and
Everyone has
embarrassment
the
as
case
she
of the
stomped her way
dramas.
towards the castle door. The objects protested, hopping along beside her, pleading for her to stay.
If he doesn't want me here, then I won't stay.
Sparkle said angrily. She pulled open the door and stormed outside. She had only taken a single step outdoors when the clouds overhead began to multiply and darken. Thunder and lightning
What
were
the
quick
heck?
to follow, though there was no hint of rain. From somewhere in the distance, there could be heard a dark and sinister laugh
Sombra?
that soon multiplied into 3 distinct voices. Sparkle panicked
the hell?
and ran from the castle toward the front gates. She was thwarted, however, by large dark crystals that sprung from the ground, blocking her exit.
What the heck?
Sparkle quickly changed direction.
This just went into nightmare mode.
To fly over the wall instead. As she did so, the unmistakable buzz of hundreds of wings approached from the other side. She squeaked in surprise
It's a
and
nightmare.
fled in a new direction, finding it difficult to see anything when a thick black fog encompassed her.
Help!
She screamed, thrashing about in the darkness, her mind echoing with the unhinged laughter of the villains closing in.
I can't see! They're coming!
Sparkle's screams were cut short when she felt a mighty footstep shake the earth.
What
Even
the
in the
heck?
thick black fog, she could see a circle of magical energy formed between 2 massive horns. Sparkle could see the prince standing atop the tallest castle tower. He was reared up on his hind legs, and his horn let out a blinding blast of light that pierced the darkness, threatening to encompass his castle. The 3 villain voices screamed in anger and agony as the prince's magic laid waste to them.
Whoa, wait a minute. Are you saying that King Sombra, Queen Chrysalis, and Tyrek were all attacking the castle at the same time?
That's what it says, yes.
Yeah.
But why? Are we supposed to believe that they'll all just get along? Wouldn't it make more sense for Tyrek to steal
Yeah.
their power? Or Sombra to turn them into mind flames? Or...
This is what happens in terrible fanfictions, Pinkie. Inexplicable boss battles,
Oh!
with easily defeated by overpowered OC characters.
So he's
OC.
attracting all of the terrible fanfiction tropes like some kind of giant cringe magnet? We have to get rid of him before Pinkie Tails are doomed forever. I know just what to do.
All right then. Sparkle stood in shocked
What, you gonna
silence,
call,
witnessing
Dash-
the might of the
Dash
prince's
on?
power. Once he had finished, he shot her an apologetic smile and disappeared from the tower momentarily to reappear in front of her.
Are you all right?
Oh,
I'm fine.
romance.
What was all that?
Romance.
Sometimes myself and my castle is put in incredible danger by outside dark forces, and I have to keep them at bay. Don't worry, they've never beaten me before. I'll make sure you're safe.
But why? What could they want?
They want me to turn to the dark side.
Thank you.
Dun dun
for saving
dun.
my life.
Sparkle said, conceding to the fact that without the prince's help, she surely would have met her doom.
You're welcome. It's not safe for you to travel right now. It's best if you storm off tomorrow when the daylight's on your side.
Sparkle smiled.
Storm off
nodding in
tomorrow.
agreement, following the prince back inside the castle. The following day, Sparkle found that her determination to break the curse greatly outweighed her desire to leave the castle. The prince was overjoyed to learn that she wanted to stay, and decided to assist her search rather than brood in his
Romance.
tower. The castle objects were all abuzz to see the two getting along, and each hoped the connection they were forming would bring them one step closer to breaking the curse. Minutes turned to hours, hours into days, and soon a week had gone by of fervent study together. Sparkle and the prince rarely left the library and each other's side. The prince quickly learned to accommodate Sparkle's tendency to work too hard by having his staff bring them meals and blankets at night when the studying poured into the cold early hours of the day. They talked, they laughed, they organized, and they made checklist after checklist to make sure they didn't miss a single detail, sharing ideas and clues with each other while keeping the end goal in sight. However, 1 week of study was the prince's limit, and he desired instead to do something else with Sparkle. He gathered the castle staff and enlisted their assistance to create a grand party. He wanted to thank Sparkle for her hard work and
Really?
provide
Already?
everybody a break from their toiling. Of course, the objects delighted at the opportunity to throw a party, none more so than Flamewitch, who took it upon himself to plan the celebration. Rarity Pot whisked Sparkle away from the library to go and meet another castle object that would help to make her ready in time for the evening's festivities. Sparkle was a little uncomfortable with the idea, as she had never attended a party before and didn't want to disappoint the prince or
Ooh,
his castle
it's the
objects.
wardrobe? We're gonna meet the
She'll need to
wardrobe.
look divine, darling. I told her that only you could pull off such a feat. But of course, every
Oh my god!
Presser.
Oh my god!
Looking forward to signing any mare, even one as egghead as this one.
Why does everybody
Oh
call me that?
man.
What does it even mean?
I'm a wardrobe, not a dictionary. You just look like one. That's all. That's all well and fine, but we simply must not waste
Trixie is
any
the
time.
wardrobe.
Have you found a dress for our guest?
Man.
How about this one? I heard it was only worn
Oh
once.
my god, it's a
The
It's
Tresser
a recall
giggled
back
slyly,
from
holding out a
Cindershy.
gown that was anything but appealing.
Oh my, that'll never do. It looks as if a bunch of mice sewed it together on a time crunch. No,
Yes,
it's something
re-
that accentuates her
recall
smile.
from
Oh, the
Cindershy.
brilliance of her wings. I don't think I have anything that would make her look good. Perhaps I misspoke then.
Hey,
Perhaps
Twix.
you are not the greatest wardrobe in the castle. Come, Sparkle,
Oh,
we'll visit
you
another
do that,
room.
Rarity.
Perhaps we'll find something for you there. Wait, I just found something. Yes, have a look. It's beautiful.
Ugh.
Try it on, Sparkle.
Are you sure I need this? Why can't I just wear my regular clothes?
Regular what? How could you ever think to attend a gala without wearing a gorgeous gown? Because she's an egghead.
All right, I'll
Oh,
without
Trix.
my magic. It might take some time to get this on right.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Come see.
Tressa said, beckoning Sparkle closer.
I don't
Sparkle
like
took the
that.
bait and
I don't like
approached
that
Tressa.
face.
Moments later, she was sucked inside the wardrobe and the doors shut, locking her in. Her screams of protest matched the strange sounds coming from within. Before a minute had passed, the great and powerful Tressa spat Sparkle back out fully dressed and
Dresser.
ready for the party.
Ugh, now I smell like musty
Nice.
books. Ugh. You look exquisite.
Rarity Pot said, showing Sparkle a reflection of herself in a nearby mirror. Sparkle did indeed look ravishing in her gown. It was accentuated
Excuse me
with
for that
pieces of
coughing.
jewelry
I
and a stylized mane
have
to match.
been going
You've
through
really
something.
outdone yourself, great and powerful dresser.
I'm the game player though.
Naturally, I am the best.
Ahem.
A voice called from the other side of the door.
The prince would like to inform the young filly that the celebration can now begin.
Sparkle opened the door to see a hollowed suit
Well-
of pony armor standing at attention on the other side.
Oh, you look rather beautiful tonight.
Is that
Miss
Flash?
Oh, thank you.
Flash. Flash armor.
Flash replied.
Yep.
The metal helmet's cheeks
Flash
turning a
armor.
bright crimson.
Your
The-
prince awaits, darling.
Rarity Pot said, delighted, then turned to Flash armor.
Why don't you go guard the magic mirrors,
Of course, right away.
Flash said, slightly defeated.
Gotta be careful around the armor. They've
Man,
been
Flash
like
never wins.
Bell.
And I am.
Language.
What? Flamewitch said.
Come, we're holding up the party.
Sparkle followed Rarity Pot and Sweetener Bell toward the grand dining hall, a room that she had never seen before. The hall was extravagantly lit with numerous chandeliers and candlesticks that vaguely reminded Sparkle of Flamewitch. There was a long table filled to the brim with party food, including a massive 100-layer cake. The adjoining ballroom had streamers hanging from every pillar, and wherever she looked there were sure to be dozens upon dozens of balloons. The prince waited for Sparkle at the end of the staircase, wearing a brightly coloured suit that matched the theme of the party. Sparkle blushed profusely, having completely overdressed for the occasion. She wondered if that was the great and powerful Tressa's intention, as she didn't seem particularly fond of Sparkle.
You look Lovely.
said the prince, pulling out her chair at the dining table.
And you look. This whole place looks. Bright and festive.
I think the word you're looking for
Is fun!
Flame Witch said,
Oh my god!
cake along with the other castle objects.
Oh
in
my
a
yes,
sea
he
of
did. He
confetti.
pressed on the
Sparkle
cake.
and the prince were soon up to their
Oh
feet
my
with pieces of
God.
paper and the remnants of the food that had once been on the table.
Look at that.
Oh, this place is a mess.
But what's a party without a big surprise?
Flame Witch said, scooping up a chunk of frosting and eating it in one bite.
Cheese
I'll go get Apple Broom.
That's okay. I
Apple
wasn't really
Broom.
that hungry for cake.
Sparkle said, brushing the frosting and confetti from her mane.
How about a dance?
I would love to.
Sparkle said with a smile. She and the prince waded out of the chaos to the ballroom, where an expectant vinyl record was ready and waiting.
Hit it!
You don't have to tell me twice.
The entire room seemed to jump at the beat,
Oh,
including the prince and
it was
Sparkle.
fun.
The pair of them laughed, dancing out the rhythm together, flailing their hooves about in all directions.
I know this one. Pinkie? Oh my god, you just...
What? Don't you see it? The abomination on the dance floor? Which one? Ha!
Unable to get Ashton's attention, Pinkie made her way towards the gramophone and lifted the needle from the record.
There. Now if you would be so kind, get this thing out of my story.
Dashton?
Who are these ponies?
Look, Dashton, it's just like I said. A beast has stolen your mare and was dancing with her. Kind of. What are you gonna do about that?
Why, come join the party, of course! There's enough cheese confetti cake for every pony!
Does that mean I can come to the party too?
Nope, not
Oh,
you,
Apple
Apple
Bloom.
Back to work.
But Dashy, Dashton, don't you want to defend your mare friend?
Mere friend, please. She was barely even my friend. Friend? But I don't have any.
Sparkle started, then paused. The answer hit her so directly that she felt foolish for not seeing it sooner.
That's it! The way to break the curse!
She ran towards the library where the enchanted scroll had been waiting. The prince, the castle objects, and the pony intruders followed after.
Oh, alright then. I'll just chill here and not get to see what's so exciting. Yeah, that's fair.
Sparkle reached the scroll
poor
and
final.
carefully unfurled it, scanning the riddle as a big smile grew on her face.
What costs nothing, but is worth everything, weighs nothing but can last a lifetime, that
Love.
one pony can't own, but two ponies can share, something you don't understand but desperately need. One's destiny is fulfilled when a correct answer is accomplished. That has to be it! Friendship! Before I came to the castle, you only
Really?
had your staff around you.
If I was
Ponies
love.
that would do anything for you regardless
Okay.
of how they felt.
Friendship
You
is
didn't
magic,
have a
so...
real friend, did
Okay.
you?
I guess not. I never called any of my staff my friend. I always thought I was too likable and perfect to be a good friend.
And that's the thing.
God.
The scroll said the answer had to
Mary
be
Sue.
accomplished. That meant that you couldn't just know the answer. You had to experience it too. We've had the means to break this curse all along.
You want to be my friend?
I already am your friend. And you're mine too.
Once the words had left her mouth, the entire castle began to glow. Magical waves of light struck each castle object at once, engulfing them until it was too bright to see them at all. When they reappeared moments later, their true pony forms had been
Ooh,
restored,
I
and
love the
Sparkle could
outfits.
see them all as they truly were for the very first time.
You did it! You broke the curse!
Ooh-wee, now that feels a mite better.
Apple Clock said, bucking her hooves in the air, rejoicing.
Hang on to your flanks, every pony! This light show isn't over yet!
Flame Witch said, lounging in a chair with shades over his eyes, pointing his hoof at the prince. All eyes turned to the prince in confusion as the magic began engulfing him as well.
But I thought he said he was only cursed not to leave the castle.
His appearance was a curse.
Just as with the castle side, the
Pinkie.
magical light grew too blinding to watch, and a final burst was heard before the prince emerged. His appearance had changed after all. He was without all the excess magic and vibrato he had grown accustomed to hiding behind. Instead, He became a proud and confident prince with actual characterization and personality. However, it wasn't a pony that stood before them now, but instead a much smaller creature.
Really? Spike?
A baby dragon.
Really?
Excuse me?
Spike? This whole time, the prince was Spike?
I didn't think you'd want to get to know the real me if you saw me for who I am. But now that I know you're my friend, Sparkle, Wait, where'd the story go? Guys? Guys?
Oh, Spike.
The end.
That's terrible.
That explains a lot. Hey, don't blame me. I tried to get him out of the story a long time ago. You're not gonna let me off the hook for reading you a Spike story, are you? I know. How about we read The Little Mermaid again?
Hmm. Okay, that was Egghead and the Beast. Must admit that totally was not expecting a lot of that stuff. Like, at all. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad, because it wasn't bad at all. Just more unexpected. That makes sense. Definitely kind of stinks with the whole no one likes Spike. That's just sad, man. Next time. Ooh, Rapunzel. Oh, rarity's gonna be Rapunzel. Okay. Well, that was, like I said, Egghead and the Beast. Really sure that was supposed to be more joking wise. But yeah, I thought it was decent enough. And let's see if there any more things to say. I don't really think so. The casting was good. I really liked the imagery. It's just more. I was expecting it more to be played more as serious, like how how their version of the Little Mermaid was. So, yeah, that was a little surprising of the tone. I think that's why a good chunk of this was a little bit surprising for me, because I was expecting a different kind of tone. But overall, I thought it was well done for what it was. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.